Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for clicking on the video. This is David Pendleton, and now we're covering the Valley of the Dead tournament. This is going to be the qualifying round walkthrough for the rookie division. As you can see here, I fired off a minus 19, so qualifying went really well, and hopefully we could get this, in the final round where it's really going to count. But if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm glad you found it. And secondly, for everybody watching, if you can take a moment to hit the thumbs up and like the video before you leave, that would be pretty awesome as well. Let's go here to hole number one. Now, hole number one, I'll show you just one way to play it on this one. We're going to be going 10% at max. We're going to go with full top spin combined with 2 bars of side spin to the right. For me, I am setting up here with my white ring on the right-hand side of the rough. And then I set up around the +6, +7 yard mark, which is going to be, a few yards away from max. That way, whenever I flip the camera around to pull my rings for the wind, I can make a proper adjustment with barely pulling into overpower. Now, because I do pull into overpower a little bit, I just go with a tad of OP. And you can see here, we're able to get this one up the fairway very nicely, which is going to leave us here for shot number 2. Now, unfortunately, on shot number 2, I did not drop this shot at all. So still a minus 19 without picking up shot number 2 here, which is overall a little bit disappointing. What you're going to see me play is 10% at max. I would like you to play at 15% at max, as every single time my ball came into the left-hand side. I tried to adjust with a little bit of side spin, but ultimately, I think we just need to go with a standard shot, no side spin, no offset. Just go ahead and pull it 15% at max. Because you can see here, the speed is good, but we just barely missed to the left-hand side. If I would have pulled it the extra couple decimal points with the extra elevation, that probably would have been good to go for hole number 1. Hole number 2 here is going to be no spin, minus 10% at minimum. Now, with this particular shot, you can play it with your sniper if you want, or you can play it with your Viper. I will say that anybody who has a sniper probably has a maxed out Viper. I do prefer this shot with the Viper. I know you're not used to playing at that club, but it doesn't matter. I prefer it with the Viper. That's the one that I would suggest to use. We're going to go no spin, marlin ball, minus 10% at minimum distance, means that we're playing this shot uphill. You're going to see here that I put my green inner ring right there on the rough line, ball guide line going to the hole. This ball guide line here is set up dead center of the pin. And you'll see here with a perfect ball, we do pick up the hole-in-one, taps the pin, and rolls in. That'll take us here to hole number 3. Hole number 3, we are going to play this one 10% at max. And we're going to go with 6 top combined with 3 bars of side spin to the right. Now, if you're playing with an extra mile 9, do not go full top. If you're, of course, playing with extra level, extra miles, you're still going to be okay on this shot. You might just want to use a click of OP to get a little bit more distance on the drive. But at the end of the day, it's really not going to matter, because all we're trying to do is just set ourselves up for the rough bump albatross opportunity, which is always a really nice play on this hole. And we do like getting somewhere around that 335 yard range, which is exactly where I came in at. Now, we're going to play shot number 2, 10%. This graphic is wrong. I don't know why it says that. This is not 10% at minimum. This is 10% at mid. 10% at mid. I apologize for the mistype. I want you to set your spins first. 3 bars of side spin to the left combined with 3 top. 3 top, 3 left. And then I want you to wiggle around until you find the sticky spot. And you can see there the ball guideline is fully in the hole, but right-hand side of flag stick. Like I said, this is 10% at mid, not minimum. All right, that's hole number 3. That'll take us to hole number 4. I'll show you 2 different ways you can play a hole number 4. This first one is very safe, but going to be hard to duplicate. 40% elevation at mid distance, 4 bars of backspin with a backbone and a navigator, ball guideline pointing to the pin. All right, so we get the perfect ball, and you'll see this one does go into the hole, pretty much dead center as well. Now, if you have a higher level Goliath, I like the rough bump a lot better. So you're going to set your spins first, and then you're going to play this one minus 10% at mid as well. So minus 10%. You're going to notice here that we're going with heavy side spin to the left. So this is about, 2.8 left, combined with enough topspin to get our ball guideline going to the hole just like this. With the majority of our yellow ring on the rough line, you see a little bit of it is sticking in the fairway. That's how we've played it in tournaments past, so that's what I try to duplicate. The last time we played this course, we had a very similar wind angle on rookie. And there we go, dead center for the hole-in-one. So there's 2 different ways to play hole number 4 and 2 different hole-in-one options. I do like the second one with the Goliath rough bump a lot better. Although if you hit a great left, you could be in a lot of trouble with the sand. Okay, this is going to be hole number 5. I'll show you 2 different ways to play hole number 5. The first way is, of course, the bombs away approach, which I really like. I do understand if you don't want to play this on a qualifying and waste a berserker, but for me, it's not a waste. Nothing is a waste in a tournament as we're trying to get the highest score possible for tiebreakers. But if you don't have that many, I did put an extra option here for you. You can see here I go 10% at max, and then I go with full overpower. And we are able to just slam this ball up the fairway very nicely, leaving us for a wedge shot to pin, full tap spin, whatever wedge you're using. I like to use the fringe right there to bounce on and then roll out. Perfect ball. This is pretty easy. I fast forward to save some time. All right, so here's another way to play it. You can play it with a big topper if you would like. So I went with big topper, and then I went with a kingmaker. And we're going to go, again, I should have gone full top spin, so I suggest you go full top spin combined with 1 or 2 bars of side spin to the left. Really just want to make sure the ball guideline is pointing down the middle of the fairway. You can see here that I hardly used any overpower, and let's see where the ball lands with the OP. So this is how you can tell if you can use more overpower than me. So you see where the ball touches down, it's not even close to the rough. We could probably get away with about 1/4 of a ball up to half a ball more of OP and get this ball even further up the fairway. Then, of course, we can get further up the fairway if you go with full top spin as well. But that's one way to drive it. And then here's what shot number 2 looks like. Shot number 2 will be 20% at max with no spin at all. Ball guideline trying to point at the hole. The nice part about this one is, when you're using that kingmaker, you're going to get very, very low wind, especially, of course, combined with being in rookie division winds. Makes it a lot easier. But a perfect ball here. And this ball goes in as well. Dead center for the eagle. So there's 2 different ways to play hole number 5. You'll just have to pick out which way suits yourself. This will go to hole number 6. I'll show you 2 ways to play hole number 6. The drive is pretty similar. 6 top, 2 bars, a side spin to the right. Again, if you're playing with an extra mile level 9, you can go full top if you want to. Shot number 2, though, is going to be a completely different position and angle from what you'll see me play. So if you want to try to duplicate what I'm doing, you can just go with 6 bars a top, 2 bars a side spin to the right. Here you saw me go with quite a bit of OP. Just make sure that if you're going to go with the OP, you hit perfect. A great right or a great left could put you into the rough or the sand. Not likely, but it could happen. So if you have lower level clubs, and I really don't, but if you do, then you're going to want to go with the big dog for shot number 2, which is the only reason that I'm showing you this. Here I went with as much backspin as I have with the big dog. Try to get my ball guide line pointing at the pin. But, the thing about this one here is with the lack of a ball guide line and the power of the big dog, it's hard to tell on your very first attempt where to aim. But you can see here we need to back up a little bit and probably pull a lot more elevation. But regardless, most people are playing this one for the eagle. But I will show you here a shot with a sniper. This is the same thing on the drive, except I just decided to go no moving target. 6 top, 2 right. No moving target until it's time to just pull your rings and adjust for the wind. Same type of OP though, half a ball of OP. Of course, looks like I hit a perfect ball on both my accounts. I seem to be getting better when it comes to overpowered perfect shots. Now this will bring us here for shot number 2. I did add some elevation to the shot, 25% at max. And this is going to be 5 bars of back combined with 1 bar of side spin to the right. Now the thing about this one is I was lucky here, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But the 5 back, 1 right, the speed is really good, as you're going to see. Now I hit a minor great right here, but somehow, some way, this ball goes into the hole, which just means that, I didn't adjust properly for the wind and elevation whenever you hit a great ball and it works out. But the speed was good, the roll was good. We just have to know that if I hit a great right and it went into the hole, then we have to adjust for that a little bit so that if you hit a perfect ball, you're more lined up to center of pin. Okay, now we're going to go here. This one's going to be hole number 7. Hole number 7 gives us a great chance for a hole-in-one. You're going to notice here I'm going to go with about 1.3 back combined with 2 bars of side spin to the left, and I'll show you 2 hole-in-ones. Both the same setup though. This one is very, very low wind, which is why I'm going to show you 2 different hole-in-ones so that you can see it with a little bit higher wind. Now you're going to notice here that after I set my spins, always important, after I set my spins, I'm looking for my landing spot. And you can see that I'm favoring the left-hand side of the cup. This ball guide line is fully in the hole. So you'll see here, let me go back. Ball guide line fully in the hole, all up in the left-hand side of the cup. Okay, now I'll make my wind adjustment. Perfect ball. And here we come in really nicely, smack the pin for the hole-in-one. This one is 3 miles per hour. You're going to see the same setup though. Spins first, 2 bars of left side spin, combined with about 1.3 backspin, 3 mile per hour wind. Ball guide line left-hand side of the cup, just like that. And it comes in nicely, again, dead center for the hole-in-one there. That'll take us to hole number 8. Hole number 8, I'll show you 2 different club options for the second shot. I'm going to play this one with a Kingfisher and with a Thorn, just depending on what you have. 6 top, 1 bar of side spin to the left. You can notice here, I'm just trying to aim down the middle of the second part of the fairway. In the headwind angle, I'm not going to let one rip yet, but I would imagine that in the next round or the final round, we may get tailwind, to where we'll take a berserker and we'll try to launch one up the fairway. But here, 10% at max. This is with the Kingfisher. You can see we're at absolute max distance of this club. Doesn't have near the ball guideline that a club like the Thorn would have. But, you know, if you play with the clubs for a while, you know, in tour play, then you should have a pretty good idea of how the ball bounces and rolls out. So here I knew I had to back up a little bit just because of the undeveloped ball guideline. But you'll see here with the perfect ball, this ball comes in with perfect speed and drops into the cup for the eagle. And now the next shot I'm going to show you with the Thorn, which is what most people will play it with. Here we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. We're going to go the 10% at max. We do have a better ball guideline, so we are going to utilize 1 bar of backspin. And we're going to make sure that our ball guideline is through the back of the cup. So for me, 1 bar of backspin was good. You might have to go a little bit less depending on where you get on your drive. But this is the exact same pool as far as elevation and distance of club, 10% at max. Another perfect ball. And another good roll into the cup there for the eagle on hole number 8. That'll take us to the final hole. I'll show you 2 ways to play hole number 9 as well. Remember, in the qualifying round, I try to give you multiple ways to play holes, but I only take 2 of my counts into the next round. So if you're somebody playing with, you know, lesser clubs, lesser balls, you can always use this as a guidance, even though the wind angles are going to change. But, you know, you can kind of copy along, you know, as the tournament goes. But here, you can see we're going with half a ball of curl to the right. This is going to be a quarterback combined with a Goliath rough bump. Hole number 9 gives us an excellent chance to pick up an albatross, especially in tailwind. So here we take a very safe drive with our quarterback. That'll leave us for shot number 2. If you've got a higher level Goliath, you'll be able to go for the rough bump, and you'll be able to get a good ball guideline. Now, you don't necessarily need a high level because we don't need a ton of topspin. You can see here 3 bars of topspin. And I'm trying to get the ball guideline pointed to the hole. I do come up a little bit short on this one. Now the wind is only 2.2 miles an hour, so we don't get like a big rollout and a push. But, you know, even in a higher wind, we probably still need a little bit more topspin. And then here it looks like I underpowered my shot a little bit, which is my Achilles heel. It's such a tough habit to break for me. I don't know why, even though I know I do it. Ball comes in really nicely. We need a little bit more speed. With a little bit more speed, it doesn't have the chance to curl to the right-hand side like it did at the end there. But, you know, if you want to go bombs away, then we got a great shot to show you here. We're going to go 10% at max, 6 top, 2 bars of side spin to the right. Extra mile level 9 players do not go full topspin. Go ahead and keep it at this. As a matter of fact, I even got too much of this drive. You see here that I do push up to max after I make my 10% adjustment. I go a full OP with baby right curl. Now, what's normally happened in tournaments past is I hit the fairway here, and then I normally clip the rough and roll out. This is the first time that I've ever not hit the rough. So I got a lot of yards on this drive. So that's going to leave me with a very odd shot number 2. So, you know, anytime you can take an albatross opportunity with your wedge, I guess that's a good thing. Here I'm going to play at 20% at max. If you do not get as many yards on your drive and you're taking this shot with a Thorn, then in tournaments past in the same wind angle, I've dropped it 10% at mid or max. You'll have to check the own distance of your club, but if you are taking it with your short iron, it does normally play 10% of your club. Hey, that is it. Big round. I hope you kill it. Leave me some comments. Let me know how you do. Please hit subscribe and hit that thumbs up. Have a great day, everybody.